Y'all better be paying attention to
when anything done at the bottom of the constituency, what
Yes.
it does, it affects you the next day.
The next day.
Mm-hmm.
Politics is always local.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It affects you the next day. See?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's important. Plus, the last thing is our prophet said that the great and dreadful day is sure to come.
Yeah, so it don't matter who was in the office.
Don't even matter. He said in a public address, if these principles are followed in those days, the United States will be one of the greatest nations the world has ever known. But if they're not, then the worst is yet to come. Well, this is 2024. We all got eyes to see and ears to hear. Has our government and our nation followed the prophet's principles? We're in the Moorish movement, and most of us haven't followed the prophet's principles. Think about it.
Yeah. So we know what that looked like.
Yeah. So
Yes,
the
sir.
worst, so we already know the worst. Come on.
Is yet to come. Yes, sir.
See?
Yes, sir.
He said we have to remove this great sin from the earth.
Yes, sir.
Or else what? The earth is going to suffer from what? Earthquakes, flood. Come on, y'all see it.
We see. You see what we seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this here, especially on the East Coast with earthquakes.
Come on, brother. Y'all see it. See?
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Let's get into it. This was I had to tell the audience this was your subtopic. It's still part of the Real Jesus series, but you wanted to talk about, the Marys. I said, oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and we deal with a lot of topics that in some ways we speak about the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. We speak about all of our brothers.
Yes.
And our ancient fathers. So I feel like, let's switch let's not necessarily direction but let's just switch let's paradigm shift somewhat. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
show a greater appreciation for
womanhood. There you go.
Why
there
not?
There you go.
See, why not? What are we? Prophet Jew Ali taught us that we come to Allah how? Through ceremonies and forms.
Yes, sir.
And embodiment is a ceremony and a form. See that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So embodiment of what? A principle.
Yes, sir.
Man ideally is an embodiment of the principle of manhood. They're not synonymous. We know that today, don't we?
Yes, sir. Hey, bro, that was kind of slick. That was slick right there. That was slick right there, brother.
Same with women and womanhood.
Yes, sir.
We're not gonna make the mistake of presuming that a woman exudes or exemplifies divine feminine.
Not just because it's a woman.
Same with men. Just because you have external genitalia does not mean you are exemplifying the principle of manhood. See? Here we go.
Is that
first slide? Hold on.
I had it in order.
There we go.
Hold on.
There we go.
Let me go here. Let me go.
Nah, that's smooth. That AI system. Hey, that AI system is hey man. That thing is smooth.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
You like that?
Yeah, AI system is smooth, man. Like that's a nice level.
Praise the Lord. The real Jesus. So it's not just, again, we talk about narrative. It's not just the personality of the Nazarene, but we know that personality from a psychology perspective. Personality is the result of your experience and interaction with the outside environment in a single lifetime, in a single incarnation. That is personality. See? So we're not just talking about the personality. We can't just talk about the personality of the Nazarene without talking about the environment that helped shape it.
Mm-hmm.
See? Now, this is going to be a short presentation in terms of slides, but we're going to go there, people. Get ready. We're going to go there. Okay, next slide. It's a slide that says theurgy at the top.
Uh-oh. It's the AI, man. It's on to us.
Yeah.
It's the AI. It's on to us.
AI is throwing monkey wrenches.
I'll tell you. It's
funny.
going mad, I tell you. Miles, I see your allergies messing with you too, ain't it?
Today for some reason. It's all right though.
Indeed.
A temporary thing.
Indeed. Tell you later, man. Hit them glands right here.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Hit those glands right there.
I definitely will.
Help that mucus drain through.
Right.
Also, if you got some honey too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll knock it.
Gotcha. But it wasn't showing?
Oh, it done killed. We can't even hear you, Miles.
Yeah, I can't even hear your voice, bro. Can't even hear your audio.
The sisters say stay away from dairy too.
Oh yeah, I don't really mess with that too much. Yeah.
There go my mic. I don't see my mic got turned off.
I'm telling you, bro, it's that system, bro. It's on to us.
It's on to us, bro.
They on to
He
us.
said it's on to us.
Let me go ahead and let me see what I can do here.
Our favorite snacks and all.
Yep.
Yeah.
So his feet were like the found in the furnace. Revelations 15.
All right.
Talk.
All right.
Right.
Brother Bay talk that talking up. Okay then.
It's coming up?
Let me see. I gotta let me do this. Let me open this tab.
You gotta reopen back up.
Now,
It says no.
Well, I tell you what, while you're looking for it,
yes, sir.
or for the next slide, let's talk about this. Let's bring up this topic.
Oh.
Because this is a topic that, when it comes to men and women relationships, or interaction, especially in the Moorish movement, sisters talk about it. They just don't talk about it around us. When we say Allah, the Father of the universe.
Oh boy. Oh yeah.
Hold on. Follow me. We talked about it in our Sunday school the other day. We say Allah, the Father of the universe, right? Okay, Father's male.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right. In our questionnaire, we asked the question, right? We asked the question,
Can you see that?
that says Google.
Google.
Can you see that?
It says
Google.
Google.
It's Google?
Yeah.
Oh,
The Google tab up.
yeah, it's tweaking.
But when we say, so in our questionnaire, we taught that the higher self, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can the higher self pass away? Answer.
No.
Why?
Because it's Allah, man.
Okay. Here's my question. Is there a difference between Allah and Allah in man? And if there is a difference, what is the difference? Woo! Because the higher self is Allah and man. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And our questionnaire would ask the question, what is the higher self? What's the answer?
What is the higher self? It's Allah.
Higher self is the what?
The what?
Mother
of the
mother of virtue.
Can we see that?
It's showing. It's not showing a slide, brother.
I don't know why it's not. Why is it not showing the slide? That's
interesting.
That's interesting. Let me see something. Can you see that?
No, sir. It's still just showing. What's it showing? It's showing it's showing like your desktop.
Okay.
This PC downloads and.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, let's do this.
So.
While you doing that, we'll do this. Go ahead. Keep building.
Oh yes, sir. So. Is there we say so? Allah and man is the right. The higher self is the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life and breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. That's what it says in our questionnaire. And it says, can the higher self pass away? Answer, no. Why? Because it is Allah in man. Uh-oh. So is there a difference between Allah and Allah in man? And if it is, what is it? Woo. Now we're cooking, brother.
Let me see if we can move this way. We cooking?
Now we're cooking.
All right, we're cooking.
Yep, just leave this slide up. But I want to finish this thought real quick.
All right.
If there's a difference between Allah and Allah in man, what would the difference be? What would the difference be if there's a difference?
Oh, man, I'm doing too much over here. What am I doing?
You say if it was, I don't think there is a difference because there's no separation, is it?
Well, all is one. This is true. All is one. But we can't deny the fact that there is creation. And there is differentiation in creation.
Correct.
All right. See? And why would if there wasn't a distinction between Allah and Allah in man, then why would the words be used, Allah in man?
And why can I? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the last slide, brother. I need to go to the.
I'm trying to move this demonstration, but I'm trying to move the screen back, but it won't let me move it back. Let me see.
Will you try clicking it?
Nah, yeah. I had it. And they put it back over there every time. Let's see. Window.
Yeah, that is a good.
That's the last slide too. I'm trying to figure out why I put it way over there. Let's see. I'm trying to move it, bro.
Okay, so back on the topic.
But we have some technical difficulties.
If there's a difference between Allah and Allah in man, there must be a relationship because they both have the word Allah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the relationship between Allah and Allah in man? That's probably the better question. Right? Let's go to chapter 3, instruction 7, Holy Quran and Moorish Science Symbol of America. What is chapter 3, instruction 7 says the lower self, the carnal self, the body of desires is a what? Reflection of the higher self. But there's a qualification to that reflection, distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. Right?
Okay, here we go. Can y'all see that?
Yes. You still got to go to the second slide. Okay, there we go. All right, we good. All right, don't touch it. Right there. Don't touch it. All right.
Yes, sir.
So
Stop moving. Pause this. Hold on. This joint is, I don't know what it's doing. All right. We got to pause them. Bam. All right.
Okay. So, what is the difference between, follow me, a reflection, a clear reflection, and a distorted one? A distorted one very simply does not allow us to see our true selves.
Right.
And as a result, we would do what? Look, think, and act other than ourselves.
True selves. Right.
How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? Answer?
By teaching them to be themselves.
Straight like that. Okay. But if you can't see yourself clearly, all right. So our work, I'll quote Brother J. Blakely Bey. He said it this way: let us purge ourselves to the exactness of purity in life. In other words, let's clean our mirrors. What is man in this respect? Man is Allah's reflection in the process of cleaning up. Man is how manifestation, creation, is Allah's mirror. Man is Allah's reflection. But remember, we're given a topic to study. The first topic to study besides ourselves in the Holy Quran and the Moorish Science of America is what?
Father God.
Time never was when man was not. We are given the subject of time to study. Why? Because time is the thing that qualifies creation. See that?
Yes, sir.
We have 3 parts: spirit, soul, flesh. 2 of those 3 parts are inside of time. So everything inside of time has to follow the rule of time. So in question number 1 of the questionnaire, who made you? Answer, Allah. Whoa. But in chapter 1, we said that everything that would be made, everything that's made will be what? Unmade. Whoa, wait a minute now. That means man is temporary?
Nope.
See what I'm saying? Oh, so now it looks like we have an apparent contradiction here. So who is it talking about when the question says, who made you? What is the you? Answer, it's Allah. It's a man is a process in our current state. We are a process. Can I prove it? Sure. Later on in our questionnaire, what did the higher self say to the lower self at one time when he met him? Where are you going, Satan? What was the answer the lower self gave to the higher self? I'm going to and fro the earth, seeking who I may devour. Has he finished his task of devouring?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
When was his... I want to quote the exact words. See, now I'm messing up. Has he finished the task of devouring? Yes. When was his time declared out? When he nailed Jesus on the cross. What were the last words Jesus uttered? It is finished. Stop. Finished. The word finished is past tense. But then the next question, says what? What did he have reference to? Well, reference to means future tense. Answer, he had a reference to the end of Satan. Right? Then it says, what's the name of the person in whom Jesus was first incarnate? Or did Jesus say he would return to conquer him? Whoa, wait a minute. If it was finished, why would he need to return?
Because it's not yet done. Still going
inside of time. But Jesus was speaking from a mind of outside of time.
So he's speaking from his Godhead.
Straight like that. But it has to manifest, and time is the number 1 rule inside of manifestation. So man himself is in the process of manifesting Allah. Even the prophet is reported to have said, I am subject to my own laws. All right. See? Now, okay, so back on the topic, Allah and Allah in man. Man, and I mean humanity, men and women. Man is Allah's reflection in the process of emerging. That's the unfolding of the bud to show the flower, right? Yes. Now, gender, we say gender, is really polarity.
Right.
But on the plane of manifest and in our fallen state, we think that we're our flesh. So we'll say, I am a male. Wrong. That's like saying I am a positive and she is a negative. Huh? See?
Excuse me.
No, I'm a man. She's a woman. We both have positive and negative. Just one's more manifest in me and one's more manifest in her. Make sense?
Right and exact.
Because on the yonder kingdom of soul, this carnal nature is not known. Meaning, gender is really polarity, and polarity describes relationship and function. Let me say it again. Polarity describes relationship and function. That's why today in Asiatic households, where sisters are largely the head of household, they are very fond of saying, I'm mama and daddy. See that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're talking function here, not identity. Function, right? So follow me. Spirit, what is the relationship between spirit and soul? Which comes first?
Spirit.
Spirit is the actor. It is the initiator relative to soul. Soul is being acted upon. Spirit is giving, soul is receiving. What's the polarity between those two? Spirit is male, soul is female. Get it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's take it a step further. Now you have soul, which forms a body beautiful. And then those essences take on a final garb, and that's flesh. What is the relationship between soul and flesh? Soul does the acting, flesh is acted upon. Soul would be male relative to flesh. And flesh, okay.
Right.
Starting to see it now, people?
Yes. So the functions alternate.
Depending on the relationship of what you're talking about.
Right, and exact.
Yeah.
See? All right.
Yeah.
See, so in our chapter on the soul of man in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America, there's a polarity / gender assigned to soul. It says, guard her, for she is rash.
Ooh.
Are we talking about guard the woman, for she is rash? No. We're talking about men and women better guard their soul, for she is rash. Talking about the spirit in man and woman, guard your soul. Because the relationship between spirit and soul, there you go.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what does the garden and protect it?
There you go. See? That means men and women have a divine masculine and a divine feminine within them.
Seeds being planted on the plane of soul also could be relative to a garden too.
Of course.
Yeah, and we know who's guarding the holy city.
That's right, brother. Well, we're gonna talk. It's funny you brought that up. We're gonna talk about that. All right, this slide right here, theurgy. What does theurgy mean? It's the operation or effect of a supernatural, spiritual, or divine agency in human affairs, or also the practice of the embodiment of divine functions by physical men.
Run that back one time, bro, so they can hear it.
Let's just give a quick example. There's a reason why during the time of Jesus, a third religious order / political party is not mentioned. Two of them are Pharisees, Sadducees. They're mentioned. But Rome thought it very expedient not to mention the third one.
It seems.
It's meant, right, brother. It's mentioned, just not in the way you think. Okay? Just not in the way you think. Like the angel in the Bible that spoke to Mary and said, you're about to give birth. Right?
Right.
That angel we know was who? Gabriel. Gabriel. What you all don't know, but certain secret organizations, it's spoken of. That the Jabrail, the Gabriel, that's a title.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a title, it's a theurgic name, a theurgic title, adopted for and by the Essene ambassador, whose duty was it to proclaim a major event or birth. That means there were different people at different times that embodied theurgically Gabriel. See, these are secret teachings, people.
What was our prophet to us?
He was an angel of Allah. Okay, you know the rest. See? Now, so think about it like this. Those of you in the movement know that when it comes to, let's say, disputes or issues in the temple, administratively or whatever, that the prophet set up something for protection. A body of what?
Seven tried and true.
7 cheeks, bro. What do you think that is emblematic of?
7 sages.
And the triune Allah from Allah's own record book, the triune Allah breathed forth, and what?
7 spirits stood before his face.
The Hebrews call these 7 spirits
the Elohim.
Okay. And it was they and their boundless power that created everything that ever is or was. In other words, they are the administrative body for the triune Allah. Meaning they make it so on the manifest. Why do you think that there's 7 Supreme Court judges?
Whoa. I never thought about it that way.
I never thought about it either, but it makes sense.
Executive power, though. Yeah.
See that?
Yes, sir.
See?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because it shapes, what does government do? Government maintains the social environment and landscape. The manifest.
Yes, sir.
It's a theurgic function. That's what it is, believe it or not.
Whew.
Right. I'm sorry, I'll take that back. They're not 7 Supreme Court judges, they're 9 Supreme Court judges. There's a reason for that. They're 9 Supreme Court judges. But there's a reason. We'll get to that. But anyway, back to this. That's what theurgy is, people. Theurgy is the embodiment of divine agency on earth. When Jesus said on earth as it is in heaven, he's speaking to the principle of theurgy. People just don't realize it. When our brothers and sisters who practice the Kemetic science, quote unquote, when they say they take on a God form, okay, I'm going to take on the form of Osiris, I'm going to take on, that's theurgy, people. When our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean and in South America are ridden by the Loa or ridden by an Orisha, that's theurgy. See? All right. observance of pattern, seeing with eyes of soul. In other words, the ability to see pattern. Pattern and archetype are what? The unseen structure behind manifest reality.
Ooh.
In other words, and in this slower rhythm, the essences of life are manifest.
Mm.
The perfumes, the odors, the true sensations, and the all of love are manifest. The patterns of manifestation are manifest.
That's why we, oh man, that's why we get, dang, that is, bro. Ooh.
You see it?
Yeah.
So like when we count by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, listen, the only time that the pattern is visible is in the first number.
Right. 5, 10, 15, 25 done disappeared.
Gone.
Only thing we
But
see
you know it through its effect on the other numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's acting upon under numbers.
See that?
And that's all. And then when we get back to the theurgic title, that should bring Moors, especially Moors on the stream. It should bring you to understand what it means when the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said he was Jesus in these days and times.
Come on. See, it ain't spooky, is it?
No, sir.
All you have to know is the pattern. That's spooky. When you know the pattern, you can now interact with the pattern. When you can interact with the pattern and embody the pattern, then you obtain, to a degree, greater or lesser, the power of the pattern itself.
Oh.
That's why when people say, oh, well, there were 16 world crucified saviors before Jesus, therefore the story of Jesus is fake. No, that's what the story of Jesus. That's a pattern's the same, people. You just validated it.
16? Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you just validated it. See what
There
I'm
go
saying?
one Christ acting on other Christ.
Right.
What are we looking at when we say 16 before the Jesus of 2,000 years ago? We're looking at 16 people that embodied the same pattern. See?
Whoa.
Right. All right. Now let's go to the next thing. Not names, but titles. See, we've been conditioned under the European psychology. When we hear the word Mary, oh, that was her name. Wow, there's so many Marys. Right? When we see the word Abraham, that was his name. The word Solomon, that was his name. No. Again, this is secret knowledge. So it doesn't mean that it's a secret to everybody, but it does mean that most people are not aware.
Oh, bro, you just blew my hinges off. I'm gonna let you get to it, but you just blew my hinges off. We got to stop right there, too.
Go ahead, speak to it.
Man, you're gonna get to it. I see it coming.
All right, got you. So let's go through some of these. These are just some examples. Abram became the Abraham. Jacob or Yaakov became the Israel.
Stop. That's one. Well, it didn't. That one didn't get me because
Mark them off.
I know that a lot of, and I'm not saying this to be facetious or condescending.
Yes.
But I hear a lot of my brothers and sister Hebrew Israelites speaking of an Israelite as if it's a bloodline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, because Jacob or Yaakov became the Israel, but what was his bloodline prior?
Canaanite.
Okay, so
straight like that, they know that.
Okay.
Canaanite.
Okay. All right.
Canaanite.
All right.
Okay. You drop that thumbnail down.
The thumbnail.
Yeah, the tag. You drop that.
I ain't gonna be able to drop
from the bottom. I'm saying to see the bottom of the.
I can't see it. I can't even see the screen. Hold on, let me see something.
No.
Let me see something.
There we go. Oh, but it's still dropped. It's still knocked off top of the slide.
Not the thumbnail. I mean to say the thumbnail, but the tag with Brother Bay on there. So
Okay,
they can
hold
see
on.
the bottom of
All right.
the presentation.
I gotta get to that comment.
Oh, my junk just glitched. They on to us for real. There we go.
Although we still got some of the slide cut off.
I know. I gotta find it. I gotta find it because I don't see where it went to.
So let me continue.
Hold on.
Here's one. Jethro became or was the El Shaddai.
I'm gonna have to do this. Let me do this. We got to do it again, man. God. That's why I ain't want to leave the screen.
My bad. You just can't see the bottom. My bad.
Yeah. All is well.
That's on the most.
It's all is well. We got it. No.
So let's talk about Jethro real quick. Because that one's a deeper secret in the sense that it's not so easily found. Who was Jethro? Jethro was Moses' father-in-law.
Okay.
Jethro was identified by historians as the Midian sheik from the plains of Moab. Jethro was identified as the high priest of a temple on Mount Horeb.
On Mount Horeb.
Yep, Mount Horeb, which is now today called Sarabit al-Qadim in the Sinai Peninsula. That temple.
It ain't in order.
That temple.
Keep going, brother.
Was found in 1902, I believe, by a man named Sir Flinders Petrie. That temple.
Can you see that?
That's the first slide, brother.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see if I can move. There we go. Can you see that?
That's the first slide. Yes.
It's still on the first one.
Okay. When I move it don't move again. It's tweaking again. That's why I did not want to move this demonstration. Let me see. How did I do this? Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay. All right. Can we see it now?
Same slide.
I'm not even on screen.
Can you see this one?
It's the same slide. First slide.
Wow. What is going on with this demonstration? Is it moving?
Nope.
Wow. Why is it doing this to me? Stop playing. All right, stop playing. Let me take that down. Let me go here. Can you see us now?
No, it's showing your page that's showing all of the slides in small thumbnails.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go. Let's see. Well, I can't go on my Google Slides, bro. This is. Bear with me, people. Bear with me, man. Let me see. Let me go go back here. Share screen. No. Share slides. Let me see if I can get that. That ain't what I need to do. Y'all bear with me. Boy, I did not. Well, that's why I want to leave the screen. Ah.
But Mo, you say so you're saying those people at that time took on the titles.
A lot of what we've been conditioned because of our reading and the way that the religious scriptures have been, the narrative we've been given on them, we're taking titles as names and didn't know.
Islam.
You see? Like, for instance, let's talk like the fact that we talked about, like, for instance, there's a biblical character in the Bible, right? In the New Testament, his name is Zacharias.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Zacharias was a man of substance. Zacharias was somehow connected in the circle of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Or Jesus, not Mary Magdalene, but Jesus' mother.
Mm-hmm.
Zacharias was part of the Essene community at Qumran. And his title was Michael, the angel Michael. See?
Nah, that's a bomb dropper there.
Without knowing these certain key elements regarding the true narrative, things get tricked up. And we get spooked out.
Agreed.
What does question 38 say in our Quran questionnaire? What is an angel? Answer.
An angel is the thought of Allah manifested in human flesh.
Boom. See?
Mm-hmm.
Angels, the thought of Allah manifested in human flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So in many respects, this speaks to what? The topic we're talking about, theurgy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
But back to Jethro real quick. Jethro was the El Shaddai. In other words, the Lord of the burning bush. The God that initiated Moses on Mount Horeb.
Whoa.
Nah, that's deep.
Boom.
He was
Y'all see that?
initiated. It just says Google, brother. Just Google.
Why is it doing this to me, bro?
So Moses was initiated by his own father-in-law. See? How do we know this? Hence, that's what we see in the Bible, what Jibril does. Is analogous to function or purpose. The spirit or the soul of a thing is indicative of the purpose of the thing. I can prove it real quick, right? What is a prophet? Answer.
The thought of Allah manifested in flesh.
What is the duty of a prophet?
To save nations from the wrath of Allah.
What is an angel?
The thought of Allah manifested in human flesh.
What are angels used for?
To carry message to the four corners of the world, to all nations.
Both of them are thoughts. Both of them are manifest in flesh, but they both have different purposes. See that?
Yeah.
That's how you can know the soul of a thing, by its purpose. So we're about to look at the Mary pattern, the Mary purpose, the mysteries of the lesser mysteries of Isis herself. It's a theurgic name style adopted by the Essene ambassador, whose duty was to proclaim a major. That's it, brother. Don't move it. Don't move it. Don't move it. Don't move it. Don't move it.
Okay.
Don't move
All right,
it.
bro. All right. All right, bro.
We can't see us, but the viewers can see it, so that's fine.
Perfect.
Right. So Gabriel was the theurgic name style adopted by the Essene ambassador, whose duty was to proclaim a major royal event. Hence, that's what we see in the Bible, what Jibril does. God, the phrase, God the Son, and the phrase, God the Holy Spirit, are both theurgic titles and stations. Whoa. See?
Titles and stations.
Yes. The name Mary or Miriam is a theurgic title of women in a formal ministry in various spiritual orders. Mary is a title too. Now you can see why there's so many Marys in the Bible. All right, next slide. That slide should say the pattern, the mysteries of Isis or Set.
Jedediah.
Jedediah is Solomon's original name.
Good God Almighty. Now that was one I didn't know. I did not know that, man. Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Boy.
That is Solomon's name.
That
so
is wow.
Jedediah the Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Ain't that you see the next one?
Yeah.
That's the one I need. Praise the Lord. That is the one. All right. So now we're getting a glimpse at the actual Mary pattern. Remember, pattern is analogous to function or purpose. The spirit or the soul of a thing is indicative of the purpose of the thing. I can prove it real quick, right? What is a prophet? Answer.
The thought of Allah manifested in flesh.
What is the duty of a prophet?
To save nations from the wrath of Allah.
What is an angel?
The thought of Allah manifested in human flesh.
What are angels used for?
To carry a message to the four corners of the world, to all nations.
Both of them are thoughts. Both of them are manifest in flesh, but they both have different purposes. See that?
Yeah.
That's how you can know the soul of a thing, by its purpose. So we're about to look at the Mary pattern, the Mary purpose, the mysteries of the lesser mysteries of Isis herself. Who is Isis or Set? Wife of Osiris, son of Horus, but more importantly, the recoverer of the body. And not just the recoverer, but the reassembler of the body of Osiris. Y'all know the Osiris mystery, don't you? Or
yes,
mythos?
Sir. Yes, sir.
How Set lured him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then killed him, chopped him up into 14 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
What did Isis do? Went and gathered all the pieces.
Except for the phallus, right?
Right. So she made a golden one via a magical process and thereby became pregnant with Horus or Heru, right? So what is the magical process implies what? Something spiritual or supernatural involved. Divine intervention involved. Okay? But let's go to the more mundane thing of her assembling the 14 missing pieces of the body of Osiris. Brother, you belong to a particular august body, right? That, teaches a system of morality.
Yes, sir.
Veiled in allegory and revealed in, okay.
And illustrated by symbol.
Illustrated by symbol, right? So the body is analogous to a temple. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And there's only one person that we know of that can build a body temple without the sound of a hammer or a nail. Am I correct?
Right, and exact.
Isis represents 1/3 of the primordial triune, the process through which the ineffable makes himself known in manifest creation. Woo!
Say it one more time, bro.
That is why in the Nation of Islam, you hear them say that the woman is Allah's second self. Isis represents 1/3 of the primordial triune, the process through which the ineffable makes himself known in manifest creation. Isis represents the spiritual mechanics of creation itself. Think about what I just said in that sentence. All religions today, and I'm talking about in the public, I'm not talking about anything secret.
Right.
All religions today speak of deity and then speak of creation. They don't speak of the mechanism by which God geometrizes. See?
She is the true builder of the Bible.
They keep it secret. They keep her secret. They keep her secret. They keep her secret.
That's like giving you all they give you all the chemicals but don't give you a laboratory.
How about that? How about that?
Right. And she provides the conditions by which, you know, these things.
They give you the car, but no gas in the tank.
Right. Exactly.
See? All right, next slide. It says 18th dynasty.
No.
Not that one. That's okay.
Okay. 18th dynasty. There we go.
There you go. 18th dynasty, the 18th dynasty Mary or Miriam. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know there was an well, you probably knew, but many other people didn't know that there was an 18th dynasty Mary. First of all, what's significant about the 18th dynasty? Can anybody tell me? 18th dynasty is a very important period in dynastic Egypt. That was the dynasty of what ruler? Akhenaten. Why is that significant? Because Akhenaten was a major radical departure in rulership from the previous rulers. Akhenaten was strictly monotheistic. Strictly monotheistic. Okay?
Yep.
Strictly. All right. Also, too, look this up, people. It's called the Amarna Letters. Amarna Letters. Amarna was a capital or a subcapital in 18th dynastic Egypt. The Amarna Letters are tablets of governmental records of ancient 18th dynasty Egypt. Guess what those records, those government records and communications between Egyptian rulers speak about, among other things?
What's that?
They heard and entertained a petition from Canaanite refugees who said that they were driven out of their homeland by a man named Joshua the Robber, son of Nun. Of a people called the Habiru people. And they requested to be able to settle in Egyptian territory, bro.
Yeah.
See, when that's on page 3 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America, everybody presumes that it came out of the Bible and thus it was and thus suspect. No, it didn't come out of the Bible. It came out of actual real Egyptian records.
Whew.
Boom. See?
Sheesh.
Actual Egyptian records. Look it up for yourselves. It's called the Amarna tablets or the Amarna letters. All right, so look at what's about Esau. Esau was the firstborn, of course, entitled to the birthright, but he gave up his birthright for a bowl of soup. In other words, he gave up his birthright to gratify his lower self. Esau was the father of a man named Igrath. Igrath was the mother of Queen Tai. Queen Tai was the junior wife of Amenhotep III. Amenhotep III was the father of Akhenaten, the Moses. Yeah, they're one and the same. Here we go. Akhenaten's second wife, Miriam, the Mary Kiba, was from whom the Egyptian royal line evolved into the royal house of David. Woo!
Oh.
Right. Right.
Oh.
Right. And then Kiba Tasheret, daughter of Moses and Miriam, and her husband Rama. Rama was of the family of Judah. Ooh. Links the dynastic Egyptian line to the royal house of David.
Oh man. Kiba, daughter of Moses and Miriam, and her husband Rama of the family of Judah links the dynastic Egyptian line.
Right.
Oh.
That means through the Marys, the embodiment of Jesus in the flesh was the embodiment of the uniting of the royal bloodline of David and the dynastic Egyptian line of kingship.
Boom.
See?
I had to steal that one from you, bro.
Yeah, I'm over here reading like
Yeah.
Bro,
next slide. Mary, mother of Jesus.
Bro, if you would know where I was in my degree work, right? Woo!
Wait till you see not this slide, but the slide after this one, brother. Wait till you see that one. No, the last slide. The last slide. Not that one. Not that one. That one. There we go. Mary, mother of Jesus. Remember, the Marys or the Miriams were what? Specially prepared women priests.
Mm-hmm.
In the Qumran Essenic community. So this particular Mary, mother of Jesus, specially prepared for the Davidic dynastic line to carry the seed or bloodline of David. In other words, she is the Holy Grail.
Ooh. Oh.
Boom.
Whoa.
Mary, or Miriam, as we said before, is the theurgic title of formal ministry in the Essenic monastic community. The Essenic monastic community at Qumran, right, the Dead Sea, styled as the Watchers, or more specifically, the protectors of the house of David, the protectors of what matters most, which is what? The future spiritual evolution of the human race, which is what Jesus embodies.
The Royal Council of the Silent Brotherhood.
What people represent the higher self? Answer? The angels who protect. Okay.
Angels who protect the holy city of man.
And we've already determined here that with certain secret knowledge, and especially knowing of the knowledge of theurgy, that angels, the embodiment of angels, is a theurgic practice. What people, right? Hold on. I'll read it. I want to read it specific. I don't want to mess it up by paraphrasing. Who is guarding the holy city of Mecca today to keep the unbelievers away? Answer: angels. What is the modern name for those angels? Answer: Asiatic. See? Another name for the Essenic community that we have in our literature is what, people? The Royal Council of the Silent Brotherhood. Next slide. Mary of Magdala. This is the one that's going to get me in trouble.
Yeah. Well, you built for this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the one right here.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Mary. Why am I calling her Mary of Magdala instead of Mary Magdalene?
Magdala is the place that she was from.
That's why she's called the Magdalene. Why Jesus was called the Nazarene. There you go. Magdala was the city she was from. Mary of Magdala was of the Hasmonean dynasty. One half of that dynasty went a particular way and left the other half of that dynasty hanging. Who was part of the Hasmonean dynasty that went a particular way and left the other side hanging? Herod. Herod was a Hasmonean.
The cruel king.
The cruel king. So the Hasmonean dynasty, the other half, had to G up because that end of the Hasmonean dynasty was linked to the Zealots. In other words, the ones that were trying to bring about the physical end of Roman rule over Palestine through violence. Guess who was a member of that? Judas.
He was a Hasmonean.
Judas was a Hasmonean and related to Mary Magdala. That's right.
And it's been said that he was also related to Jesus.
Well, that's another story. I won't say he was physically related to Jesus. I will say from the Kabbalistic perspective, there is definitely a connection. So, Hasmonean dynastic representative, the secretary and financier of Jesus' circle, this is known, meaning what? She was a somebody. Considered one of Jesus' disciples. She wrote her own gospel, by the way. The wife of Jesus. Well, watch this, people. In the tradition of those days, in the cultural and social climate of those days, the only women that could handle the body of a man is his mother and his wife. Who were the two women tending to the grave? You already know.
Mary Magdalene and Mary.
Who were the two women that the Roman soldiers turned the body of Jesus over to? You already know.
Mary Magdalene and Mary, mother of Jesus.
Right. One of the wedding customs in those days was that the bride washes the groom's feet and anoints his feet. Right.
And she washed his joints with her hair.
Yep. Now, hold on. One of the other traditions, marriage traditions in those days, is that during the marriage celebration, the groom is responsible for everything, including and especially refreshments.
The wine.
Ta-da. So when we see in the Bible that Jesus and his disciples and his mother and his family were all at a marriage ceremony in Cana, whose wedding was it? Especially when Jesus' own mother charges him up for the being out of wine. Why would she tell him that they're out of wine? Right.
Because he was responsible for it.
Straight like that. Now we get into some other things. Mary of Magdala, just like Jesus, according to the Romans, first chapter, first 3 verses in the book of Romans, Paul says, I, Paul, the apostle, called to the defense of the gospel concerning our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who was born the seed of David according to the flesh, but declared to be the Son of God according to the Spirit. This is where a lot of our brothers and sisters in the church get it wrong. When we talk about God the Son being present at the creation, let me say it again. When we talk about God the Son being present at creation, a lot of our brothers and sisters in the church are taught wrongly that that was the personality of Jesus of 2,000 years ago. No. There is a difference between God the Son, which is a what, people? Station.
Mm.
And the person, Jesus of 2,000 years ago, who elevated to that station. See? So here's the question, people. If he was the embodiment of the Son of God, who was the embodiment of God the Holy Spirit? Right.
Oh, see there.
Right.
See there. So if all these stations, they only gave you a personality that embodied one of them. What are the other two?
Okay. So now we can see why Pope Gregory in the year 591 heavily maligned and slandered Mary of Magdala by calling her a prostitute. That's where that comes from. That's not biblical.
Pope Gregory.
Pope Gregory did that.
And you know what? That is right. It's not biblical because it says it's nowhere in the Bible.
That's right.
Here we go with narrative again.
Yeah, Rome flipped and bounced that. Yeah, they slander the sister to suppress the true knowledge of her significance.
And you see why it was left out, because they couldn't canonize Jesus if you had left that in there. They couldn't.
Brother, yes. And remember, that's all. Jesus is our brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The teachings of Jesus came before Rome adopted them, didn't they?
Right.
But for Rome to adopt it, what did they have to do? They had to chop and screw it.
Chop,
screwing.
They had to change the narrative. Okay. And that's the narrative that we grew up under. Rome's narrative. That's why this stuff sounds foreign and strange to us, because it's a different narrative. All right, last slide.
Ooh. They don't like talking about this one. Hold on. There we go.
So we keep talking about these mysteries, the mysteries of Isis, the mysteries of the Marys, the mysteries of the Holy Breath. What are we talking about here? Look at this word spiration. That's a word.
Yeah, it is.
The word inspiration implies movement of air, spirit, or breath. Let's go back to Genesis, first chapter. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved on the face of the waters.
It is the will of man that makes it possible the action of the Holy Breath.
Come on, it's action. There we go. The Greek word Geist, directly translated to Holy Ghost, in which the word Geist means breath or a movement in the ethers. That's what it means. Remember, what is time? Time is motion, people. Movement. That's what time. See how this is starting to come together?
Yes.
And because that motion is a stirring up, it starts a process. What process? The creative process, creative fate, creative fiat. In other words, it's the ineffable's desire to make himself known.
Oh, boy. Woo.
Alchemically associated with sulfur in the alchemical trinity of sulfur, mercury, and salt. Told you would like this, brother.
Yes, sir.
Alchemically speaking, mercury is associated with spirit, the omnipresent spirit of life. Sulfur is associated with soul, evaporation, dissolution, and the expansive force. It connects the high to the low. And salt, flesh, base matter, condensation, crystallization. Another word for Christ is crystallization, people.
The embodiment.
Right. The holy breath is the magical link spoken of in the magical and occult orders, linking the body or the organization to higher powers. You hear in certain esoteric or occult orders, they talk about having a magical link. This is what they're speaking about. And when that magical link breaks the connection, the order loses its power.
That's why ritual is so important.
There you go. To keep initiation fresh. Right. Right. And lastly, the holy breath represents the missionary spirit, but not necessarily in the way we are thinking about it, like crusading, where we go out and proselytize. That's part of it, because we are to anoint and appoint and consecrate missionaries for the Prophet Drew Ali and extend the, right? We are to do that.
Yeah.
But what are we really doing? Follow me. Shout out to the European Austrian by the name of Rudolf Steiner. I love his work. His work is bananas. So he talks about, listen close, from the esoteric or spiritual perspective, Jesus on the cross being an inverted, the cross being an inverted phallic symbol penetrating the earth. All right. Impregnating the earth so that what? The holy breath can fill the earth and air with holy. Come on.
Yeah.
So that what comes up out of the earth now? Saviors, plural.
Plural. More Jesuses.
How about that? That's the presentation, people. I told you it'd be short, but we was gonna go deep.
Man,
It's not.
bro,
It's not.
bro, this woo. Oh yo, oh man, hey.
I hope everybody been taking screenshots and pictures of all this stuff.
Absolutely.
I really hope so.
Man, man, I ain't even been looking at the phone. Man, I'm sorry, chat. I ain't been looking at the chat or nothing, man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. The mother plane.
Yo, shout out to Brother Raphael. He said Rome must be from Texas. Yo, he's funny.
I said the same.
He's hilarious.
Hey yo, this dude, bro.
He is hilarious.
Everybody, please hit everybody, please hit the chat. Please hit the like button, please. Okay, we got a shout out to Creator the Boundless Universe for the $7 super chat. It asks, Islam, can this be related to the Rosy Cross or the Rosicrucians?
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah.
The Order of the Rosy Cross. Let's just be real brief about it. But you know, our brother, see, I already know what you're thinking, Mo. I know what you're thinking right now. He's like, man, listen, we need to do a show on this. See, I already know. I already know. So
you know how I think.
The Rosy Cross, here we go, bro. There's a European by the name of James Wasserman. I think he recently passed. He was a member of the OTO and a very prolific writer on occult history. He wrote a book called The Templars and the Assassins. You need that book in the library. Anyway.
I'm going to get it.
Yeah, Templars and the Assassins. But anyway, he and other authors openly speak about the time period during the Crusades. When on the surface, yes, Moors and Christians are fighting. Muslims and Christians are fighting. Saracens and Christians are fighting. But there's an undercurrent where there's a cross-pollination of initiations and information.
Ooh, oh, that makes
So
sense.
many of these were initiated into a mystic Islamic order called the Order of the Rose. We know from Rosicrucian's own history, Father R.C., Christian Rosencreuz, he learned in 3 different places: Damascus, Egypt, and Fez, Morocco. What do we see in Rosicrucianism? We see the perpetuation of our old world mindset colored over with the trappings of Christianity.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Well, look, I got a treat for y'all.
Uh-oh.
I got a treat for them. If you brothers and sisters in the chat, if you have questions, when you super chat them, I'm going to place the link in the chat. Therefore, you can come up and ask. You can get on screen and ask the question after your super chat. How about that?
Islam, Mo. I'm pretty sure y'all probably checked out that movie Robin Hood, but it pretty much correlates with what you were just saying about the with the whole crusade.
Absolutely.
The Muslims at that time and the whole the underbelly thing.
Yes.
But it's another show like that on I think it's on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
I can't think of the name of it, but the guy was like, the guy was a Templar though. And it was he was getting caught up in some things on the show.
Yes, sir.
And then, you know, they came after them.
Oh yeah. You know, well, that's the story. That's the story of Friday the 13th. Why in the West Friday the 13th is considered a bad day, because it was on Friday the 13th that they captured and they burned at the stake the Grand Master of the Templar Order, and that's Jacques de Molay.
Because he knew something, and he had something too.
Oh, that's fact.
He had a whole lot of something.
That's where the whole myth, the whole myth about Baphomet comes from.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from, people. The Inquisition accused the Templars of worshiping a beast god called Baphomet, and that it commanded them to kiss the hind parts of the god, and during their ritual initiation they had to spit on the cross and all this other stuff. These are the things that they were torturing the Templars to confess to. Baphomet, the name Baphomet is an anagram for the word Muhammad.
Tell him again. Tell him one more time.
The word Baphomet is an anagram for the word Muhammad.
And can I hit him with this?
Please.
The word Muhammad is a title too.
Straight like that.
Boom.
Sure is.
Boom.
Title too.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
See?
Yeah. You know, brother. And Raphael say, yep. Yes, sir. You know, one thing for sure and two things for certain.
Ooh, somebody just asked a question. Let's address it real quick. It's not super chatted, but I want to address it.
You talking about right to right?
Yep. How do we nationalize as Moors, as Caribbean people? We know that the Toussaint Louverture was a Moor. It was his navy that helped. That's a fact. That's fact. This is true. But now let's correct, respectfully, let's correct some of our language. We don't nationalize anybody. Let's start with that. We do not nationalize anyone. If you look up the definition of the word nationalize, it means for a government or nation to take physical control over something. That another word for nationalize is eminent domain. Let's use it in a sentence. Saddam Hussein pissed off the Western powers when he nationalized the oil fields in his country. So we don't nationalize anybody. That's akin to slavery, taking physical possession of people. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't nationalize. Never did. Prophet never used those words in relation to bringing people into the organization.
Right. However, when we look at the gist or the purpose of his question,
yes,
he's basically asking, you know,
I know what he's asking.
Yeah. How would people of the Caribbean and other so-called Latin American countries be, you know, within the Moorish diaspora?
Yes.
So 45.
Chapter 45. You're right, brother.
So I like the question. Let me see if I can come up with the prophet's own words. Here we go. The prophet's own words on how. Here we go. This is what he said. The prophet said during, I believe it was October 17th. This took place. During the Moorish American Parade, he was interviewed by the Chicago Defender newspaper. And in the Chicago Defender newspaper, he says, first thing he said was this. Listen to this. Our nationality began with this parade. Woo!
Whoa.
We'll discuss that a little bit later as to why he said it or why he said that. But then he says this. He says it must be kept in mind that no great movement can take definite shape in 2 or 3 years so as to be error-proof. However, through accumulating experience, each annual convention ought to witness a more perfect and wider functioning organization representing the organized experience of men and women throughout the country and possibly in time the world over. So that's the prophet's own words. Understand? That's the prophet's own words.
Here you go, miss. Now what?
See? So we know that when he went to Cuba, shout out to the Anael-Bey brothers who done monumental research on this. We know that he went to Cuba. Many of us have seen copies or, you know, digital prints or copies of the nationality card in Spanish that he had put together for Cuba. Well, based on the research, there was a contingency of followers of Prophet Drew Ali set up in Havana, Cuba. What did we call them? Moorish Americans? Nope. Moorish Cubans. When asked what happened to them, you know what they said? Upon the death of the prophet, they ended up later joining the Nation of Islam.
I mean, I can see that.
Yep. Yep, the Moorish Haitians. That's right, Brother Raphael.
That's it.
Wow. I seen I see a question in the chat that I wanted to bring up. It's by brother where is it at? It was a good demonstration, and it was interesting because I didn't know this. He said El Monte _1 says Maccabees were Hasmoneans also.
Oh yeah, the Maccabees. That's right.
And they were also in Senegal, Maccabees. And then he mentions Ahmadou Bamba.
Yep.
Yeah. Barke Sheikh Serene Tuba. Barke Sheikh.
That's right, brother.
Yeah. 787.
That's right.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Maccabees. Yeah, the Maccabees played a heavy part in the Masada revolt. So we're talking AD 70. In other words, when Rome finally said enough's enough with you zealot crazy dudes in Jerusalem, and they destroyed Jerusalem. Now, follow me. This is what Euro Christendom says. Listen close. Euro Christendom says that it was because of the Roman destruction of Jerusalem that all of the records of the Kohanim, the Levite priesthood, were all destroyed, so they can never say who is actually Kohanim. That's what they say. Until our brothers and sisters in Central Africa called the Lemba tribe pop up showing the genetic markers of the Kohanim. Yeah.
Oh.
Not only genetic markers of being Hebrew, but the specific Levite.
And this is what a lot of people in secret orderism and certain orders fear. They fear the resurgence or the reincarnation of this priesthood, but they know it's on the manifest.
Well, here's the thing too. Follow me. Power changes as the ethers change.
The change, yes, sir.
So we're not focused. Follow me. We're not so, just like with the pattern, we count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We focus on the pattern, the purpose, not the manifestation.
Right.
We recognize manifestation, but we can see past the manifestation and see the soul of the thing.
Yeah, seeing with that.
So would the Kohanim today look like the Kohanim from 2,000 years ago?
No.
Let's go to the commentary in the Quran of Mecca. And hopefully, respectfully, this doesn't tick off our Hebrew Israelite brothers. But in the commentary in Surah 53, Prophet Muhammad during the night of power ascends 7 heavens.
Right.
On his way back down, he encounters Moses again. Moses is crying. He says, "Why are you crying?" And Moses says, "Oh Allah, this one is going to have so many more followers than I did." And Muhammad goes, "What are you talking about? You led a whole nation." And Moses says, "Yeah, but if they were paying attention, they'd be following you right now."
Ooh.
What does our Holy Quran, the More Science Civil of America say? The thoughts of Allah change not. The manifests unfold into perfection of their kind. Follow me on this, people. For the longest, Western science thought that reptiles, like frogs, alligators, were the direct descendants of dinosaurs. But once genetic testing and genetic engineering became more advanced, guess what they found out are the direct descendants of dinosaurs, brothers?
What's that?
Birds.
Yep. Big bird.
I ain't mean to laugh.
And they had feathers too.
And they were not cold-blooded either.
Not at all.
So, from the eyes of soul, when you look at a picture of a bird and you look at the picture of a dinosaur, you're looking at two manifestations of the same thought.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, people.
The
You're
container.
looking at two manifestations of the exact same thought. They just manifest two different ways at different times.
Two different canisters.
Yes, two different containers, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not throwing shade on our Hebrew brothers at all. See?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not throwing shade at all. Because the principle is the same. The manifestation may be different, but the principle is the same. The thoughts of Allah change not.
And that's the beautiful thing, right? Because even in the Quran, it says that Muhammad perfected for you your religion. So that means all these schools, these streams of thought, these manifestations of these particular thoughts are only the unfolding of this particular thought into perfection of its kind.
You hit it right on the nose, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to what you had said about initiation and ritual and how certain secret orders died off because they failed to freshly initiate, bro.
Mm.
They failed to do what Lao Tzu said about in the Tao Te Ching. To change with change is the changeless state.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, hey. What do you?
No effort.
See that? To change with change is the changeless state. Because to change with change means you understand that the manifest is just a container. It's not the thing.
And you have to move on.
Right.
So that would say, because in Know Thyself, when it speaks about the soul,
Yes.
Transition or exiting the flesh.
Yes.
It said the body remains what?
Perfect. Even after the soul is fled.
What does that mean?
It's no part of it. Yeah. Yeah. For us, it means too, we're focused on the wrong things. We're focused on the container and not what's in the container.
Bingo.
We're focused on the manifest of a purpose and not the purpose itself. I use this as a reference all the time to throw light on this very issue. The whole old Zen Buddhist story of the teacher pointing to the moon, but all the students are looking at his finger instead of the moon.
A lot of that going on.
A lot of that going on.
A lot of it been going on.
Yeah. Too many students standing in the classroom.
That's right.
And not building the house like they were supposed to.
There you go.
You know, I told somebody that, the teachers taught us how to build a house. Why are you still in the classroom?
Why are you in the classroom?
Go get the experience.
Go get the experience with the
Somebody
tools.
said it to me like this, dear brother. They said it's like somebody trying to tell me how a peach cobbler tastes because they ate the recipe.
Because they ate the Well, yeah, that's one right there, Sharif. I gotta use that one. I gotta use that one. I'm gonna borrow that one from you, brother.
Right.
Yes,
right.
sir. Man. See, wow. And one thing, I noticed another and here we go. Here we go. Let's go back up with here. Because El Monte dropped a couple things in there. Speaking about the Marys, he said, even in Catholicism, Mary is all over the globe under the term Our Lady, our Queen of Heaven. And four top women of heaven in Islam is Mary, Fatima, Khadijah, and Aisha.
Right.
Continuation of the lesser mysteries of Isis.
Yes.
Now, one thing you pointed out was the name of You identified El Shaddai as Jethro. We
Yes.
identified the Solomon as Jedediah. We
Right.
identified the Abraham as Abraham. We already knew that. That's a biblical narrative. Now we got Mary of Magdala, and we got Mary, mother of Jesus.
Yes.
We need that. I would love to identify them since Mary was a title. So that's going to be a part of my search.
So a big part of that we can already talk about is that if they're carrying the name Mary, the title Mary, that means that they were part of an order. That means they were initiates. Like in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America, when Mary and Elizabeth are delivered. And Elihu and Salome meet with them.
Who are Elihu and Shalom?
Elihu was an angel. See that?
And this is the same Elihu that's mentioned in the book of Job.
Now, it's funny you bring that up, but here, what does he say? They're marveling because of their deliverance. He says what? There are no strange happenings, right? It says,
oh yeah, all things good.
There are no strange happenings. Law governs all events. From olden times, it was ordained that we would meet you here in the sacred grove and you'd be taught. In other words, this is history written in advance. I don't know why y'all see. We already knew this was going to happen.
Why does Islam renew its history every 20?
Come on, brother.
Who wrote Holy Bible or Quran, and why does Islam renew its history every 25?
We measure time by cycle ages, and the gate to every age you deem a milestone in the journey of the race. We already knew this was going to happen. It was already written in advance. We've been watching through the generations.
Whoa. It's a pattern.
Straight like that, bro.
It already happened. It already happened once before.
There you go. See?
So we were waiting on you.
That's it. We're able to intervene in real-time events because the history has already been written.
Just gotta catch up.
And when it's in a cycle, what do you already know?
It's going to repeat itself. It's going to repeat itself.
There you go. You already know how it ends.
And then this is letting you know also, man, when we look at the history of our nation or the Asiatic people, is that it's saying, the only thing it's saying is that, bro, we've been here before.
We've been here before.
But, reflecting on the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes.
And hearing, about the circle of the 12 but still just thinking about the concept of this circle, he said that Master Muhammad broke the circle.
Oh, yeah. But guess what? Jesus broke the circle.
He did. That's why, I guess that's why Master Muhammad was called the Jesus too.
Yeah, he broke the circle. What's the circle? What are we talking about?
The pattern.
And not just that. What do we mean by breaking it? They broke a tradition. The tradition is to keep the masses away from this knowledge. See, Enoch and Elijah of the Bible, that is.
Yes.
Enoch and Elijah kept the tradition.
Yeah, they kept it secret.
They kept it secret. The symbolism about the Holy of Holies in the temple, in King Solomon's temple, and the veil that separated the holy place from the Holy of Holies, because only the priesthood could go into the Holy of Holies. When Jesus gave up the ghost on the cross, what happened in that instant? The veil was ripped from top to bottom.
Yeah.
That means what? Everybody can go in now.
And that's why they wanted his head.
They wanted him up out of here.
That's making too much dough.
And another thing too, man, I was reading Matthew 27.
Great chapter.
And in the process, I was in the spirit of my holy prophet.
Yep.
And I remember I was talking to a brother, man, and it just like the light came on me. It came on, and it just brought tears to my eyes, man, because it's like it was like, you know, it was so profound to actually come to a clear conception of this pattern and know for real and have a great understanding of the presence of this particular spirit on the manifest or coming to our nation and being a willing sacrifice the way he was, you know.
Right.
You know, and the pattern of his life and the pattern of Jesus' life, man, if you just study it and look at it and see it with the eyes of soul, you will see the pattern.
And I'm glad you said that, because one thing because we've been talking a lot about the mystical significance, and I have to say it that way, about the event of the crucifixion. We are not like our brothers and sisters in the church that believe Jesus' sacrifices on the cross. That was not the sacrifice. Let me say that again. Jesus on the cross was never the sacrifice. It was the missing years of his preparation that was the sacrifice. That's the sacrifice, people. Living the life is the sacrifice.
Yes, sir. Life.
His trial on the cross was his final examination.
Whoa.
That was not the sacrifice. I can prove it right out of the Bible. Remember the event where he takes John, Peter, and another disciple up on a mountain? It's called the Transfiguration.
Yes.
He rises up in the air and they see his body transmute. And then Moses and I think it was Elijah join him and they're conversing. In other words, what did he demonstrate before the crucifixion? The ability to transmute his flesh.
At will.
See?
Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. Whew. No wonder he didn't die on the cross. You know, and a lot of people think that yeah, that they're not at variance. The Quran and the Bible is not at variance. It's about it's just about having that secret.
Yes.
That secret, that mystery, so you can correct the narrative and see it clearly.
Right.
Yeah. And then, isn't this, you know, while we talking about this, we have a lot of people that would say our brother did not exist, right?
Right.
And you know, if you choose to go that way, that's great.
That's fine.
You know, that's fine.
Right.
But when we have these type of conversations, when we are actually identifying the people, the personages, as well as the bloodline from which this man came, I mean, what are we talking about now?
Think of it like this. I use this all the time. Shout out to my brother Anael-Bey here in Syracuse. He uses it a lot. The Willie Lynch letter.
Right.
Was it real or was it fake? Was it real or didn't it?
Some say it wasn't.
But we can't, let's just say for argument's sake that it was contrived, that it's not real. There was no Willie Lynch.
Right.
None of us can deny that the conditions in the Willie Lynch are exactly the case.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the case. So whatever it is, it has a real time effect.
So there's a very powerful significance to the Willie Lynch letter, regardless as to whether there was a Willie Lynch or not.
Well, I tell you one thing, somebody knew something.
Yes.
And then it probably, you know, a lot of people, when they say Willie Lynch, you might be looking for the wrong person because you may not understand pen names.
Woo, come on.
Bingo. Pen names is real.
How about that?
Because you think about it, I've written 2 books, and my pen name is Sheik 7.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if it hadn't been for Facebook or social media, say it was back in the days, they wouldn't be able to find Sheik 7. They'd be like, who is Sheik 7? You wouldn't be able to find me. You wouldn't be able to find me in history under that name.
Not under that name. That's right.
But another historian will probably write about Sheik 7, probably knew his name. And that's how you would find it out. But without that piece of history or that mystery, you wouldn't be able to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So it's so many, you know, and then one thing too, you know, even this presentation should let ones know that, you know, you should look behind an object, you know what I'm saying, to find the soul of it.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Everything
the ability to see behind the manifestation of the pattern, to see the pattern. That is spiritual sight. That is seen with the eyes of soul.
And then also a sensing of thine own state. Who are you?
But see, brother, I'm glad you said that. Reflection is the business of man.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A sense of his state is his first duty. That's the prerequisite to being able to see clearly with eyes of soul. Because if you don't know where you are and honest with yourself, then you're going to color whatever it is you see with your own issues.
Whoa.
See?
Just like the Negro try, push his same burden on the rest of the world.
On the rest of the world.
You know.
Right. Right. That's right, brother.
And this Negro problem is ours, bro.
It's just our problem.
It's
not the rest of the world. If it's the rest of the world's problem, it's because we're at the social bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, dead weight.
And right.
Dead weight.
And when you're talking about uplifting, you don't do it from the top down, you do it from the bottom.
From the bottom up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You do it from the bottom up.
So, with this, and then you go, man, we got, bro, we said we were gonna write that book, man.
Right.
And if we write the Jesus book, guess who? We gotta save the end of the book and bring out the parallels and the connections to the pattern in Noble Joie in our prophet's life.
Absolutely. We'd be remiss in our duty if we didn't do that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So the book is going to come.
Is Jesus come again? Why? Because we can see the pattern.
Yep.
We can see the pattern. We're not talking about the personality of a man 2,000 years ago coming in.
We're talking about the archetype.
We're talking about the archetype. We're talking about the purpose on the manifest.
To save nations
from the wrath of Allah. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I got to run.
Yes, sir.
Love y'all, brothers, man. This is a powerful work we're doing here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's keep the movement moving.
Let's keep it moving.